All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Okay, so same stuff with the Iran war. It looks like the vice president went over to Pakistan. Remember, there was a meeting that was supposed to take place that did take place this weekend. I believe it was in Pakistan, and they sent JD Vance, the vice president. And yesterday on or X, basically it was posted all over that they didn't come to a deal. So we saw because as soon as news like that gets out, you could see the market reacting, and obviously on the weekend, crypto is the only thing that's open. So BTC took a dive. We were at like 73,400, and we just took a dive to like 71.7. So I saw that before I saw the news, and I'm like, okay, most likely they didn't come to a deal or something's fallen apart because the price usually, I mean, the price is being good. We passed 70K, we were holding the 70K mark, which we still are, but to fall from 73.4 all the way to 71.2, most likely there was some news that came out, right? So yeah, so that's what happened over the weekend. And I kind of figured for me, I'm not sure if both sides want to end. I mean, I know they want to end the war, obviously, but they want to get what they want on each side. They don't want to compromise on anything. Okay, one side wants this, one side wants to hold uranium and all that type of stuff, and one side doesn't want the other side to hold that. And it's just really a power trip, a power struggle here. They're going back and forth, and I kind of figured that this wasn't going to get resolved soon. But they have these things in the meantime, these ceasefire agreements to make the market look good and just hold people off for a little bit. But it doesn't look like this thing is going to get resolved soon because, I mean, for them to fly all the way to Pakistan to try to work out a deal and not come to any type of resolution, that just means that we're probably going to be in this thing for a little bit longer, right? So yeah, I don't think the markets are going to be act favorable to this Monday. Again, we've been going back and forth with this news, so I think at some point the market's just going to be immune to it. It's going to have to act without reacting to any type of Iran war news or updates because it literally over the last year we've been getting every month, okay, ceasefire, okay, the war's back on, ceasefire, this is back and forth. So at some point, I think the market's just going to get immune. And yeah, so that's pretty much that main update for this weekend, right? That we didn't get a agreement on the, or we didn't get a deal, a peace deal. I got to take my Wi-Fi off. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the live stream. Actually, let me check my volume. Let me check my volume really quick. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't mess up the live stream. Or we didn't get a deal, a peace deal. I got to take my Wi-Fi off. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the live stream. Actually, let me check my volume. Let me check sides want to end. I mean, I know they want to end the war, obviously, but they want to get what they want on each side. They don't want to compromise on anything. Okay, one side wants dang, the light in my apartment right now is super bright. I mean, I can feel it too. It's like hitting my back. All that type of stuff. And one side doesn't want the other side to hold that. And it's just really a power trip, a power struggle here. They're going back and forth. And okay. So let's, I kind of figured that this was. Okay, so yeah, so that was the main update this weekend. We didn't come to a deal, so expect a lot of volatility this week. Hopefully, crypto doesn't experience that much since we already got that drop from 73 to 71. We could potentially get back into the 60s if anything else transpires or just based off the news this week. Because the market does, typically when the market reacts sharply, or if the market goes down Monday, BTC is probably going to react, and that's most likely going to go down too. And it's already gone down from 73 all the way down to 71. So there's potential it breaks that 70K mark, and if it does, it's probably going to be bearish, right? So, okay. So let's go over just high level here. This week was a classical geopolitical whipsaw. Market sold off on Iran war escalations, like we just discussed. This then ripped higher on temporary ceasefire. Yeah, so I think it was the middle of the week we got the ceasefire, and then that announcement that they were going to meet in Pakistan over the weekend. People are very bullish on that. Now uncertainty is creeping back in. The key theme: oil equals inflation, Fed policy equals everything else. Yeah, so the Strait of Hormuz, I'm not sure if it's opened up right now, but I believe there was some news about the mines that Iran placed in the strait they couldn't find. And then I believe the U.S. offered to help find those mines. So that was something huge as well, because you can't have people passing through the Strait of Hormuz with mines on the floor that they can't find, because that defeats the whole purpose of them opening it up, because it was already open. Technically, it was already open. It was just there was people guarding the strait and attacking anything that came through, so it'd be dangerous for a ship to pass through. But if they can't find the mines that they placed, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of opening it back up, because you could potentially cross over a mine and blow up a ship. So yeah, that was that. So I'm not sure if it's opened up, but there's that stuff at the mine. So I believe oil prices did go up. I did go to the pump this week, and everything was in the fours. 80, was it 83, 87, or 87, 89, 93? All those are like 450, 460. So gas tapered off a little bit. I know premium was over over $5 at one point. And yeah, it was four straight across, probably like 420 for regular gas, around 440, 489, and then 93 was close to the high fours, getting close to five. So we'll see this week if oil prices go back up due to this news that we didn't come to an agreement. So there is a ceasefire. I wonder if this ceasefire is still on, since they didn't come to an agreement. I think the agreement was for the whole entire thing, the whole war in itself. But I think the ceasefire is still up. Now, there was some talks about the U.S. or people violating, I think, something with Israel attacking Lebanon, and how that violated the 10-point plan that they agreed upon, the 10-point ceasefire agreement. So there was something with that. So it's really all over the place. Now, nobody really knows what's going on. Is the strait open? Is it not open? Oil prices are probably going to continue to go up. So this week, expect a lot of volatility. And yeah, which again, it is surprising. It is a midterm election year. So this is definitely going to affect the outcome of that. People are already predicting, who's going to win and whatnot. But it should be interesting, because this is definitely going to play a role. People are going to consider this war when they're voting. They're going to consider oil prices. They're going to consider inflation, interest rates, all that stuff. And when they make their decision, who they vote for this November. So, yeah. So that was that. What we saw midweek, so the Dow did well. Dow was up 1,300 points this week. S&P up 2.5%. The Nasdaq up 3%, driven by temporary Iran ceasefire. Again, that's probably going to be null and void this week because of the result of not making a peace agreement in total for the whole war. But under the surface, Nasdaq already had a greater than 10% correction recently. Overall, Q1 overall weak due to geopolitical issues, inflation fears, AI rotation concerns. Again, they're always talking about AI, but again, I still feel strongly about AI. The opportunities in the crypto space, in the stock space, I think there's a lot. Again, people are concerned over geopolitical stuff, but I think once everything bounces back, that's probably going to be the main sector that really takes off, in my opinion. Especially with that NVIDIA GTC conference that just took place, really just shows you that it's exponentially growing and it's not stopping anytime soon. Crypto quietly strong. What happened? Bitcoin surged to about 72K. That's what we said. Again, it retraced this week, followed stocks higher on a ceasefire, risk on. Why crypto held up? Liquidity still strong, narrative, macro hedge, and risk asset. Yeah, we got to remember too, Bitcoin was created supposedly because of the financial crisis back in 2008, and it's a limited supply. So I think at some point, as it matures, and it's matured a lot, we're going to start to see it decouple from the market. Meaning once you have these geopolitical issues, you may have people trade BTC and leverage it out due to bad news, but it's not going to move that much. And maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to see it at a $3-4 trillion market cap, Bitcoin itself, and probably the whole crypto market at a $10 trillion market cap. And it's really going to be hard to move those markets, especially because it's limited supply. So that's going to play a big part. And I think it's going to be, in my guess, it's going to be one of those assets that hold strong during these like geopolitical times, right? Okay, economic data and macro main themes this week. Inflation risk rising again. War-driven oil spike equals inflation pressure. IMF warning conflict could push inflation higher globally. Growth slowing. Global growth forecast being revised down. Worst case, major slowdown if conflict drags on, which is most likely the case. Fed impact, higher inflation and fewer delayed rate cuts. Tighter financial conditions. Yeah, Powell's going to get replaced here soon. What actually happened this week? War ongoing since late Feb. This week, temporary 2-week ceasefire. Announced markets rallied. Peace talks failed, like we mentioned this week. And yeah, so just expect a whole bunch of volatility. Can't really expect much until this thing gets resolved. And it doesn't look like it's going to get resolved anytime soon. And we'll see. Again, I think it's probably just going to present opportunities for dip buys, adding to your favorite positions. And once this thing bounces back, in my opinion, the AI sector is probably going to be the sector that bounces back the most. I don't think we're in a bubble. I think we're in the beginning of the AI phase, and we'll see how that plays out here. Okay, so let's get into the chess. Man, I lost so much rating last night. I remember I was at 1530 for Blitz. So now I'm at 1405. And this is what happens when you just continue to play. And I felt good too. I felt good playing. It was just I was messing up at the last second. Like there were some games that I had won and it just blundered at the end. So that's typically what happens. But I'm still over 1400 for Blitz. I'm still over 1400 for Rapid. I just need to pay attention and make the right moves here. Okay, so let's play some Blitz here. Probably a few games. This mic is like crazy. Wow, did I no. See, and those are the things too. I can't believe again I blundered that. That's crazy. All right, I gotta pay attention. But yeah, man, this thing with the war, it just honestly, I don't feel like anybody's trying to come to a resolution. That's just my opinion. They say they do, but I feel like they want the volatility in the market because it's like it's just not needed. It doesn't make any sense. 'Cause one side is like, okay, well these people have this, or they're trying to do this, but it's like I feel like if they wanted to do something, it would have been already done. That's just my opinion. We could just let, I don't know. I feel like we could just let people, um, do what they do. To, all right, I'm gonna call this person back. Is that? I think that's. Give me a sec. Okay, somebody's calling me. I just wasted a whole bunch of time. I don't think he saw that. Uh, I gotta move this king out the way. Hmm. I think I can get a checkmate here. I feel like I can get it. I could be wrong. Yep. And I got it. Wow, that was a beautiful checkmate. That was beautiful right there. All right. No, that's pretty much it. I gotta call somebody back here. And I have to go for my walk. All right, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. We didn't get a deal for when we met with Pakistan this week and Iran. The peace talks fell through. So we still have 2 weeks of the ceasefire. Hopefully that still holds, and maybe we can come to some type of peace deal within that 2 weeks before the 2 weeks expire. If not, hopefully things don't escalate. We could expect volatility this week from the market, but I think once this thing turns around, AI is going to be the main focus. So take that as you will and position accordingly, right? Okay, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.